And we're going to be doing a home ignition zone assessment for this homeowner. The purpose of this is so that the homeowner knows areas of improvement that he can do so that he can better prepare his home and harden his home from the face of a wildfire. It's really a top-down kind of evaluation of the home and the area around the home, meaning roof to ground and the surrounding areas, the ignition zones that will be looked upon to do an evaluation. So we're going to look at zone 1, 2, and 3, zone 1 being 10 meters from the home, zone 2 being just outside of that, and then zone 3 is a much larger space, 30 meters to 100 meters around the home. So FireSmart Canada has created this FireSmart Home Ignition Zone Assessment Scorecard, which gives me a tool to be able to evaluate precisely what the homeowner can do to improve their environment. Hi, my name is Larry Watkinson, Fire Chief for the City of Penticton. Today we're here in a community that is recognized by FireSmart Canada. Oh, this is great. I'm glad to see that this is not a wood shake roof. What we do see here is the homeowner has put a lot of attention to the FireSmart model, being an asphalt non-combustible roof. Also, you can see that there's not a lot of debris or fall down from the property around it. The gutters already look clean, but we're going to take a closer look later on. This is really good because what we're seeing here is we have a boxed-in eave, and the gable end venting has got 3 millimeter non-combustible meshing on it, which won't allow for ember transplant to get into that area. Although it's wood, it's tight, there's no real gaps that I'm seeing. So really, this is a good example of what a FireSmart model in a positive way would look like. Okay, so this is great. This is a very dynamic area of this assessment on this home. We're gonna look at a couple of things. First of all, let's look at the siding. This is a combustible wood siding, but what we see here is there's not a lot of cracks or openings or gaps. It's well painted, it's fresh. The lines are tight against the doorways. It looks really good, although it is combustible. What we wanna look at now is, does the ground to siding have 15 centimeters of clearance? So we take a quick measurement. Yes, it looks really good. We're well up on almost 30 centimeters of clearance there of non-combustible material. The condition of the building looks really good. There's a couple of things though that we need to take into consideration here. As you can see, this little porch and entry point here, it's got a lot of openings. This is where ember transplant is going to go in the event of a wildfire. And what that will do is we'll create a fire under this deck and then extend it into the house. Although the area around me looks non-combustible, we got another deck here with a sealed top, but again, openings in the stairwell. But you can see that the combustible siding overall looks very good and in excellent condition. So as we walk around this house, we're looking at the eaves and the soffits, and everything looks to be in place. The homeowner's even done some good caulking work to tighten the lines for ember transplant so that it doesn't impinge in this overhang. But look at these beautiful big glass windows. This is something that we have to take into consideration when we do our home evaluation. So it's over a meter squared. It's a multi-pane glass. It's not tempered because you'd see it in the corner here, printed into there. So we have over a meter squared, double pane glass. So this is how we're going to evaluate this glass here. Okay, this is really neat. The homeowner's done a really good job of positioning their vehicles away from the home. We want to see vehicles parked away approximately 10 meters in an interface situation. So this is a good job. He's done a non-combustible roof, parked away from the building, and this is exactly what we're looking for. But right now I want to talk to you about where the home is positioned on the slope of this in this interface situation. So I'm going to bring in my friend Dale Bohara from the BC Wildfire Service to talk more on that.
Hey Larry.
Hi Dale.
So one of the things that always concerns us with wildfire is slope. It has a big impact on fire behavior. So you can see behind me here a slope leading up to this home. And fire likes to travel uphill. So if a home is positioned on the top of a slope, it makes it much more vulnerable to wildfire than if it was on the bottom of a slope.
So as we move into phase 2 of this home assessment, we're going to be looking at the non-combustible zone of this property. And what that is 0 to 1.5 meters away from the home itself. And as you can see here, the homeowner's done a really nice job of beautification. But the problem with this is that in the face of a wildfire, ember storm is going to come into this area and it's going to embed itself into this flower bed and into these shrubberies. And what that does is it ignites the small debris, being the dry stuff, and then climbs into this combustible wall face. But as we move around the corner here, they've done an excellent job in an actual non-combustible zone. As you can see, all these paving stones, non-combustible. It butts right up into the home. All non-combustible right up to the home, but the problem we have now is the 15-centimeter space between the non-combustible ground to the siding, the combustible siding, doesn't have the 15-centimeter gap. So we're going to make recommendation to the homeowner that they need to improve that and just put a non-combustible 15-centimeter space in there. So we're going to be moving into zone 1, which is 1.5 to 10 meters away from the structure, the home itself. And I'm concerned about these bushes back here, these junipers, and this big pine tree. So we're definitely, we're at 9 meters here. We're going to ask the homeowner to do a little bit of work on this juniper bush. This is excellent. Something we don't see very often is wood piles so far away from homes. Come wintertime, people don't necessarily want to move their wood back into the home from such a distance. So we're definitely outside our zone 1 with these big piles of wood. Although we did ask the homeowner to do some work in the zone 1 up the hill here with some of the juniper shrubs and the ladder fuels, he's done a really good job on keeping these large piles of combustibles away from his home. So we're going to give him a great mark for this one.
As we finish up in zone 1, in the immediate area around the home, we need to start looking at zone 2 and 3 as it extends away from the structure. Some of the things we're looking at are the trees and the spacing amongst them. We want to have nicely spaced trees. We'll be able to look up and see through the crowns and see the sky. We want to see those branches trimmed nice and high up the tree trunk, and the litter on the ground well cleaned up. Those dead pine needles, leaves, branches that all fall through the winter. We want to make sure we tidy those up and keep the ground clean and not support a ground fire.
So now that we've completed the home assessment, the homeowner has a tool to help reduce the risk in the face of a wildfire.